All right, let's talk about those tiny little words that do all the heavy lifting in English, prepositions of place. They're the secret to telling people where everything is, from what country you're in, all the way down to, where you left your keys. So let's dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? That frustrating moment where you know you left your phone somewhere, but for the life of you, you can't explain where. Is it on the table? Maybe it fell under the sofa. Well, that's the exact problem we're gonna solve today.
So I want you to meet Philip. And Philip, well, he's got a problem. He needs to do his homework, but his laptop has completely disappeared into the chaos of his room. The good news is, by the end of this, not only are we going to help Philip find his laptop, but you'll be able to describe any room with total confidence. No sweat. Okay, so let's start with the big picture. I want you to think about these little words kind of like the zoom function on a map. We use different ones depending on how close we want to get. We're going to kick things off with the big three: in, on, and at. First up, we've got in. Now, just think of in for the biggest, most general enclosed spaces. We're talking countries, states, cities, you get the idea. So you'd say something like, Rebecca lives in the United States. And to get a little closer, she lives in New York City. Now let's zoom in a little bit on our map. When we get to more specific things like surfaces or lines, we switch to on. This is perfect for streets, avenues, that sort of thing. So, Rebecca lives on Pine Street. See how we're getting more specific? We've gone from the giant city to her actual street. And for the final zoom, right down to the exact spot on the map, we use at. This is for a super specific point, an exact address. So whenever you see a house number, that's your cue. Rebecca lives at 108 Pine Street. Boom, pinpoint accuracy.
So, do you see the pattern here? It's like a funnel, going from really general to super specific. Let's look at Oscar's address. He lives in Canada. Then we zoom in on Main Street and zoom in one more time at 1423 Main Street. Big to small. Makes sense, right?
Awesome. So now we know how to place ourselves on a map. But what about Philip's messy room? Let's get back to finding that laptop. To do that, we're going to need a few more tools in our preposition toolbox. See, the trick to finding anything is describing where it is in relation to other things. And that's where words like under, near, and between come in. They're like the secret language for describing where all our stuff is. Okay, you ready for a little pop quiz? Don't worry, it's easy. I'm going to show you a picture, and all you have to do is answer one simple question. Ready? Where's the cat?
You got it. The cat is under the bed. Simple, right? That one little word under tells us everything we need to know. It's lower than the bed, kind of covered by it. See? That's the power of these prepositions.
Okay, back to the scene of the crime, Philip's room. Let's use our new words to make some sense of this mess. All right, the dirty clothes are on the bed. His socks? Yeah, they're under the bed. The juice bottle is near the plant, and his pens are stuck right between the shoes and boots. And finally, the lamp is next to the drawer. Just like that, the chaos starts to look, well, a little more organized. Okay, now let's tackle something that trips a lot of people up. What is the deal with on, above, and over? They all seem to mean something is in a higher position, right? But you can't just swap them out. The difference is subtle, but it's really important. But here's the good news. The rule is actually really simple once you know it. It all boils down to two key questions. Are the objects touching? And is there any movement happening? That's it. Let me show you what I mean. Just take a look at these two images. We've got a boat on the water and a plane flying over the city. In both cases, one thing is higher than the other, but we need to use different words. The answer is all about how they're interacting. So here's the rule of thumb. We use on when two things are physically touching. The boat is literally resting on the water. But we use over when there's movement from one side to another. The plane isn't just sitting there, it's flying over the city. So remember, touching versus movement. So what about above? Where does that fit in? Well, above is the one you use when something is in a higher position, but it's not touching and there's no movement. Think about a light hanging from the ceiling. It's just there, right? The light is above the table. Simple as that. All right, you've got the rules for big places, for small objects, and you even cracked the code on those tricky ones like on, over, and above. So you know what that means. It's time to put it all together and start describing the world around you like a pro. Okay, let's do this. Let's put all this new knowledge to the test right now. Take a good look at this office. We're going to describe exactly where everything is together. Check out how this all works. The laptop is on the desk. Why? Because it's touching the surface. But look, the shelf is above the desk. It's higher, but it's not touching. See the difference? Then we've got a chair in front of the desk, a mug next to the laptop, and a picture on the wall. And just like that, with a handful of simple words, we've built a complete, accurate picture of this room. And you know what the best part is? You now have all the tools you need to describe your own world with this kind of precision. So I've got a challenge for you. Go ahead, try it right now. Look around the room you're in. What's in front of you? You know the answer.